Now, I recently had the opportunity to record a video on a PHLUR fragrance called Tangerine Boy, an amazing tangerine citrus-based fragrance for the hotter weather. Well, here is another one that came out in the year 2022, so just last year. This one is called Missing Person. This is a really interesting fragrance, rather smooth, soft, velvety, musky, a little synthetic as well, but in a very enchanting sort of a way. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this relatively new fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the fragrance by PHLUR called Missing Person, I'll tell you what I think about the notes, the smell, the performance, longevity, comparisons, all that good stuff. But before I begin, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, reviews, top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, all that good stuff, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. Now, I have reviewed a bunch of PHLUR fragrances, everything from Hepcat to Tangerine Boy, and I actually had them when they had their older presentation in the cubic bottles, which I thought were really cool, white, sort of a frosted opaque glass. Now here you have a fragrance called, it's a floral musk fragrance, and it's called Missing Person. And this fragrance has notes of, and here we're kind of entering the imaginary note territory, you have skin musk, bergamot nectar, sheer jasmine in the top, fresh cyclamen, neroli blossom, and orange flower in the heart. And then you have sandalwood, Australia oil, so Australian sandalwood oil, blonde wood, and white musk in the base. So what I gather from the note breakdown of this fragrance, it's really going to be like a floral musk type of a fragrance with some citrus in the opening, probably not overpowering. And I wonder what that interplay of the citrus notes and the floral notes is going to be like. I've tried a lot of citrus floral fragrances, especially when you mention something like neroli or orange blossom. There's a certain direction that I think the fragrance is going to go in. But in any case, I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the presentation of the travel size. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get a combination of musk and sandalwood. I'm going to be honest with you, that's what I get, and it's a really nice, warm, genial, amicable combination of ingredients, right? So you have that Australian sandalwood in here. It has a very rich, creamy texture, no rough edges. It's actually a very likable DNA, and it's one that is very pleasant, very smooth, very inviting, very amiable, as I mentioned before. And I really, really do like the way that the sandalwood ingredient is expressed here. The citrus is very short-lived, and it's not the star player of the show. You also have a little bit of musk in here, and the musk, it actually comes, it seems to me, in two different varieties. You have skin musk, and then you also have white musk, as well as blonde woods. So I think all of those three factors or variables kind of come together to give it this clean, musky component. Not powdery in any way. You think of musk and sandalwood, it's like, is it going to be powdery, especially with the florals in there, perhaps the cyclamen. Doesn't actually get powdery. It's actually very smooth, very velvety. There's a cooling presence about it, so it's not overly warm, but there is a richness to it. And at times, it kind of reminded me of Another 13 by Le Labo. Now, if you've heard about Another 13, it used to be a city exclusive for Colette, and it was a collaboration with another magazine. It has 13 ingredients in it, hence the name Another 13, and it is 100% synthetic fragrance. So it has a lot of synthetic musks, and that's what I'm getting here. A lot of synthetic musks. Certainly it's a 100% vegan product, so there are no natural musks in here or anything like that. So it's this very cooling, musky, clean, rich, creamy, velvety sort of a fragrance. And as far as the floral ingredients that are concerned in this fragrance, you have the cyclamen, the neroli blossom, and the orange flower. I do get this sort of citrusy, zesty presence. Like I said, it's not the star player, so I wouldn't be convinced that the orange blossom or the neroli blossom are like the stars of the show. Cyclamen, perhaps. Nothing is overly fruity or zesty about this fragrance. It's really like this creamy, smooth sandalwood musk composition. Now, here is kind of an anti-perfume. And what I mean by that is it kind of reminds me of fragrances like Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. It also reminds me of Not a Perfume by Juliet Has a Gun, and of course Another 13 by Le Labo. So if you want something that is rather quiet, understated, elegant, but something that's not overly loud or ferocious or something like that, check out Missing Person by PHLUR. Right? It's a very sort of, I don't want to call it a skin scent because people will notice it on you, but it doesn't necessarily smell perfumey, if that makes sense, right? So it doesn't have the boisterous, sort of gregarious personality that a lot of other extroverted fragrances contain that kind of boom and radiate off the skin and they announce your presence, especially if you're that cologne guy or girl. This isn't it, right? So this is a bit softer, a bit more subdued, not aloof, right? But it's a bit more subdued, and it's not a skin scent either. You'll get noticed with it. So try it for yourself and see if you like it. If you like synthetic musk combined with a really nice sandalwood, I think Missing Person is a great fragrance. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I don't think it's the most unique fragrance on the market. You know, even when it came to Tangerine Boy, I compared it to fragrances like Xerjoff Neo, Pomelo Paradis by Atelier Cologne, even Bulgari Tiger. So this one I would compare to Another 13 by Le Labo, but it also does do its own thing at the end of the day, right? It's not a 100% similar carbon copy fragrance or anything like that. It has its own spin on it, which I find to be quite interesting. And the sandalwood in here is natural and a lot more pronounced, and I'm really enjoying it. In terms of the longevity on this fragrance, I got about 8 hours on my skin, if I'm being honest. It was rather subtle, but 8 hours nonetheless. In terms of the projection, it was actually really good for the first hour of application. It never radiated beyond an arm's length. An elbow's length scent right around hour 4, but bear with me, the longevity was still around 8 hours long. So it did become kind of a skin scent after a while. So it's not the loudest performing fragrance, but it is rather enduring, right? And it is a non-linear fragrance, but I feel like the evolution to the base came quite quickly on my skin. Comment down below, let me know if that was your experience with this fragrance as well. In terms of the versatility, perfectly unisex, great for the hotter weather, great for casual scenarios. I suppose you can wear this one formally as well. Great for anybody of any age. And in terms of the presentation, I've seen the larger presentation and what that looks like. I think it looks really nice, but the travel spray is also very convenient as well. I decided to purchase the travel spray for this fragrance, although with Tangerine Boy, in my other PHLUR releases, I do have the full presentation, the full-size bottles. My final verdict on this fragrance is if you are a fan of sandalwood-based fragrances, you like creamy, smooth, subtle, sensual musk perfume, try Missing Person by PHLUR. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you took something of value from today's episode. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. It's free and it would mean so much to me. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel, and I upload on a daily basis. And once again, if you learned something today or if you took anything of value from today's episode, just give this a video simple thumbs up. It would mean so much to me, and the YouTube algorithm really appreciates it as well. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.